Hi, this is Kendra with True Us TV, and I'm back with another video. This is a second parter, right? I'm going to play this, a little bit of this. This is for educational purpose only. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And turn on those post notifications because I'm a sporadic uploader. So anyway, so y'all can be notified when I make my next video. But let's go ahead and play this this bag. Hold on, let's see if we can get to the part. Oh, right here. Sorry y'all, but let's go.
This video, especially if you're a federal contractor. Clause 52.222-21 of the FAR being the Federal Acquisition Regulation,
Right.
is titled Prohibition of Segregated Facilities.
Right.
And what this states is that the contract agrees that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facilities at any of its establishments, and it does not and will not permit its employees to perform their services at any location under its control where segregated facilities are maintained. And segregated facilities mean like at work areas, restaurants, bathrooms, drinking fountains,
Right.
transportation, housing.
Right.
And you cannot segregate it based on race, color, religion, sexual orientation,
What do you
gender
mean?
identity, national origin as well. Now this clause is removed from the FAR.
Okay, right.
This is a new change due to the Trump regime. So what this heinous government is saying
What is so
is
heinous?
that this provision, this clause in the FAR will no longer be considered when making award choices or enforced requirements.
Right.
Now, I
That's
think this
okay.
is very symbolic in nature from Trump's administration, who happens to be an inherently racist administration.
Baby, we don't care.
And people that are black and brown, I feel like I have to constantly say this, he does not like you.
We don't
Now,
care.
to be clear, these contractors still have to follow federal and state laws, which includes Civil Rights Act of 1964. But we already know Trump is actively trying to dismantle that law.
We don't give
When
a
Kamala
damn.
Harris offered her vision that we're not going back, this is exactly
Going
what she
back
was
to
afraid
what?
of. That he will bring us back to the 1950s,
Girl,
in
bye.
which the white people had the power and we were powerless. But
We-
they don't
that's
know
a-
us,
that's
right?
a- that's a
Because
lie.
we
We
shall
always had
overcome.
power.
And once we get over this hump, the MAGAs are not going to like the consequences. I promise you that. You guys have a blessed day. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
Now,
I feel like it's just like this. It depends on how you see power, right? Now, again, I stated in my previous video, segregation is not grounds for disrespect. Segregation is not grounds for inhumane treatment. Protect yourself at any given time. That's just point blank, period. Stay with a gun on you. Stay with it locked and loaded. I don't care. I feel like if he's going to bring back segregation, also segregate the police force. I do not want to be policed by white cops. That needs to be in that Constitution. If we're going to segregate it, I would be ye always segregated. Meaning you cannot, my laws and your laws are two separate things. Meaning that I don't want any enforcement from you, point blank, period. It's also segregate our judicial settings. I don't want white judges, prosecutors, district attorneys. We cannot make deals with each other. Nothing. Segregate it all the way. I do not want to be under any of their regime. I think we should even segregate the government. And it's so funny because I said this a couple of years back, and a woman said she wanted to use some of the stuff that I said, and she was like, I'm gonna write this down for the governor so the next election. I wonder if she did that or whatever, when I was over in New Jersey. But anyway, she said, I don't think they will ever segregate the government. I said, they need to though, because it is not in the benefit for us to have anything to do with white people whatsoever. If we're going to create this segregation, there needs to be segregation entirely, right? We need black firefighters in every state and community. We need black police officers and congressmen and governors in our community that ain't sitting around here making treaties or signing contracts with white people to do their people in. We don't need white informants or agents coming in trying to infiltrate using black faces. Y'all know what that means. Them sending in a black regime to wreak havoc in our community. Because we know they will weaponize other black people like something. They did that with a couple of prominent figures in our community. When we say segregate, I mean everything. That means you don't get to get no black informants to come and infiltrate and bother us. You don't get to do that. You don't get to get foreign anything. You segregate and leave us alone, because that's the whole point of segregation, is to be separately successful from one another. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right? There's nothing wrong. That's why when people be like, white people got their own towns, I never cared about that. I don't want to be hurt driving through it. Right? You don't gotta hurt me just because we separated. What sense does that make to kill or hurt or maim somebody? The streets ain't yours. This country don't even belong to white people. For them to even think that they can make a whole town theirs, you are out your rabbit ass mind. Because you could go back to Javakistan with all this silliness. But nevertheless, I digress. I feel like this is a time for black people to show up and show out and understand that this is a time for you, because black people have always had the same things as white people, but because white folk have been able to push their stuff out on the mainstream, we have black clothing lines, bedding, water supply, a man who invented a way to produce water from the air. We have inventors. We have our black banks, right? We can get gold, melt gold. We can back our shit, buy stuff. We have blacksmith. We have architects. We have what you call those? We have black builders, welders, plumbers, electricians. And you know what it'll do? It'll bring back all of those trades that were being neglected as a result of technology. And then it'll also give us the opportunity to be innovative with technology. I mean, it'll give us the ability to be more innovative with technology and creating things that we can use to further build our infrastructures. It will also give us better time to invest in ourselves in every way, shape, or form, from low-income housing to our educational system. So we got to see this as a hands up and not something negative just because it seems like something back in the day. It doesn't have to be, because we are not our ancestors from back in the day. We are not them. We are willing to fight, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We are fighters. We have never been weak, docile, pushover people, right? But we can also be cowards, and we can also be conformative, or people who sell their own people out. We can't be that, especially when now we're pushed where we are going to have to rely on each other. We're going to have to go back to being that American Indian groups that we were, where we were literally together and saying, no, it's one of us means all of us. And that's what's going to have to happen. And that's just simply what it is. You know what I mean? And this is a good thing for us. And we will have our own busing systems. We have black people who own buses now. You know what I mean? We have our own busing systems. We even have some of our own schools. This is now the time for us. And it's so funny because I used to want to always own a school, and I wanted to own a boarding school, and I always wanted to create a textbook, and I always wanted to write books. And I was like, well, this is the time now to create all of this stuff that we want. This is a time now to understand where we can contribute to our people. If they bring back segregation, that is fine. Right? No sitting at the back of the bus because you own the bus. No sitting at the back of an airline, you own that airline. Right? No worrying about somebody harassing you in a shopping center because they think you're going to steal. You own it. Right? And there's no discrimination. If you are a thief, people are going to pay attention to the fact that you steal. Black-owned businesses don't mean that you're going to get a deal. You pay what you do. You pay your due. Right? It also doesn't mean that you're going to get ripped off by your people. Make feasible prices for your product, right? That we can all live and do it right, right? And that's all I'm saying. We got to know how we want our life to be, right? Is there going to be pushback even from our community? That's to be expected. All of those things I remember Dane Calloway, and I respect when he said, it may be only 13% of us that do such and such an ABCD. And that's right. And that's right. But if we understand that we only got ourselves, all of us will get together and realize that, nah, we got ourselves. And when we only had ourselves, we were thriving. Remember your history, not as white people told it. When only black people were in America, we were thriving. We had skyscrapers built. Please stop believing in that fake-ass transatlantic slave trade story. It is fake. You never were under them. Never. They had to lower you to make you under them. We were never under white folk. That's why they tore through your cities. If we didn't have nothing when we were slaves, how can they bomb a city that didn't exist? How? If they telling you a slave that didn't have anything, then the KKK would have never been able to go into your community and burn it down. You had cities, infrastructures, huge monuments, buildings, mausoleums. We had it all. Doctors, surgeons, clergymen. We had it all. Libraries. Now the difference is, if they burning us down, we burning them down too. That's the difference. I'm being honest. I'm gonna bring the fire all over. This bitch gonna look like the 4th of July. Okay, that's as simple as that. We got to understand, we are not our forefathers. If you set siege to ours, we are not going to get mad. We'll be running and screaming. And while we running and screaming, we're going to have our own, the fire that you started with us, we're going to run down your community and do the same thing. Right? Because it's just eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. So if that's the game you want to play, we'll play it too. You know what I mean? Segregation does not give ground for anybody to think that they could do whatever they want to somebody. But this is our time, and this is what we need to understand. We already have the resources. Now we can put our nose to the grindstone, right? In Atlanta, Georgia, there's a couple of families that bought mad acres of land that was trying to build up a black metropolis. We can now go ahead and fund into that, right? Put funds into that and help them hit that 1 million, so that's black infrastructure that's being built up. And we can do this everywhere. Put our money together and actually build up infrastructure. Gate it, do what we have to do to build it from the ground up and make it sufficient for ourselves to be protected within our gates, right? Within our borders, within us traveling in and traveling out. Segregation doesn't have to be daunting. It really don't. So anyway, this is Kendra with True TV, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed. Put God first. If there's anything else that I didn't say on this video, just let me know in the description box. If you got any questions about it or any insight whatsoever, please comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinions. If it's good enough, I will definitely do a video just answering the question, live, and we can discuss it. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye for now.